Good evening on a Saturday evening. I'm going to talk to you today about mental illness, mental health, and these conspiracy groups, the anti-COVID groups, anti-lockdown groups, anti-whatever groups, and there's a lot of them flying around. A couple that I know of was Wake Up Hull, another one was the Revolution Hull, and then there's one on Telegram which is called Free Thinkers of Hull. Now, the reason that that I want to talk about this is because Mindy was talking to me today about this sort of stuff, and it's really apparent, really, it's really true that if you do fight a mental illness on a daily basis, whether that be depression, anxiety, or anything else you can think of, and the doctor has prescribed you with medication, my advice is to keep taking that medication. Don't ever come off it just because somebody says you shouldn't take this, you shouldn't take this. I'll go into the sort of things that they're telling people in a second. If somebody says to you that to go and lay on a beach somewhere or go lay in a field somewhere to cure your mental illness, go and see a doctor is my advice. If you think you are depressed or have anxiety or any form of mental health problems, then you need to go and consult a doctor, because these people that give you this advice are not trained physicians. They're not trained at all. They are basically going off what they've read on the internet, and that stuff they're ready to suit their own agenda. So if you are fighting a mental illness, and you do get prescribed medication, keep taking the medication. Now, the thing with medication is particularly antidepressives, is you cannot and should not just stop taking them. Okay? Don't be on a dose of whatever it might be. There's different ones out there, different ones that would suit you. And you might go through 4 or 5 different brands before you find the right one that suits you. Sometimes take it from fluoxetine and then to citalopram and so on, and paroxetine is what I take right now. But if you are on them and you have allowed that 72 hours, or I think it's so long for it to go into your body, then you must not stop taking them. You need to be weaned off them by a doctor, and they'll bring you off them gradually. But don't ever just one day stop. My advice is if you want to come off the antidepressives, is you go and see a doctor, and you go and speak to that doctor, and you tell them that you want to come off, and they will gradually take you off them. Okay, they'll either lower your dosage, or they'll lower how many you take on a daily basis or weekly basis or whatever. But don't ever just go cold turkey. Okay, if I forget, I usually take mine in the morning, and if I do forget to take them, then I'll wait till the next day. If I forget on day 2, then it's like, oh crap, and I can start to feel my body tingling. I can start to feel my teeth buzzing. And I think the most I've ever been off them for is maybe 4 days, when I just totally forgot to take them. And I'm like, oh, I'll have to do it in the morning. I forgot, I'll have to do it in the morning. You should really take them as soon as you realise. But I generally wait until the next time of when my body's used to it. But that time when I think I was off for 3 or 4 days I was bumping into things. I was a little bit drunk, and it's not nice, because you just feel totally dazed. And if you were to get into a car and you've taken yourself off that medication, then you're gonna harm somebody. If you are in charge of, if you've maybe got your kids and you're a single parent or whatever, and you take yourself off that medication, you've got no support network around, you could potentially cause harm to your kids as well. So regardless of what you might hear or read or be told from these conspiracy crazies, do not stop taking your meds. Okay? If you feel at all depressed, or you're depressed, then go and see a doctor. That's a must. I was maybe 12, 18 months before I actually went into a doctor's office. And my mood swings were everywhere. I was, and you know, it was my ex-wife that took me. And as soon as I got into the doctor's office, I just broke for no reason whatsoever, just totally broke down. And I've had some ups and downs on the meds, but that's so I can find the right one. You know, I still have ups and downs now, but the ups are better than the downs, okay? The other thing with medication is, I don't know if it's all medication, or if it's, you know, I can only talk about what I know. You're not supposed to drink either, because the drink has as in alcohol, the drink has a negative effect on the medication. So you're not supposed to drink because, yes, even though it may work, it doesn't work to its full capacity. So check in with somebody. If you are feeling depressed, if you are feeling down, if you are having any dark thoughts or anything, check in with somebody. Don't go out there. You know, the first thing you need to do is pick up a phone. The first thing you need to do is text somebody. All right, if you're having any thoughts like that, speak to somebody, okay? Have a network out there. You need to have somebody you can connect with. And if that person is me, then pick up the phone, man. You know, don't have those dark thoughts sat on your own, you know, where you've been 4 or 5 days off your meds or whatever, and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to go and do this. Because I've heard stories. I've heard stories of people that have not taken the medication. All right, Normski. That have not taken the medication. All right, Mindy. They've not, I feel like a broken record now. They've not taken the medication, and then I've heard stories of them harming themselves. That's wrong, okay? And here's the reason they don't take these medications. And this is the reason that some of these conspiracy groups are doing more harm than good, okay? And the reason is because they are all about, how you doing, brother? You all right? They're against the pharmaceutical companies, okay? They don't believe in medication. They believe in herbal remedies. They believe in home remedies. They believe in, you know, going and sitting in a field somewhere, or, you know, one kid, and I think I've said this on a video before, but one kid, when I was saying about depression, and he was sort of making light of it, so I said, so, you know, you're not taking depression as a serious thing. And it was all about, you know, I've never had a pill in my life. I've never had this. I'm like, okay. And he sent me a picture, and the top of the picture was a tranquil place. There was a pond. There was trees. There was grass you could sit on. And then underneath it, and it said, "This cures depression" at the top. And then at the bottom was a pill, and it said, "This doesn't cure depression." I'm like, right, okay. For starters, you got no idea what you're talking about, because there's probably no cure for depression. All right, it is what it is. All right, some people are going to be on pills for the rest of their life, but if that balances them out, then that's perfectly fine. That's good for them. But when I looked at that picture, I just saw different ways to kill myself. I thought, right, okay, nobody's around. I'm in a place by myself. I could make a sharp out of a stick. I could jump in the pond, and, you know, can't swim. Maybe I just jump in the pond. Nobody's here to save me. I'll be there all alone. You know, so this is what I mean with depression, is you have these thoughts. All right, you know, these thoughts come into your mind. You don't think, oh, that's a nice place. You think, I could use that as a weapon. I could go over there and do that. So, and what they're saying is, what these conspiracy crazies, these people that are marching for your freedom. And again, please don't march for my freedom, because I've not asked you to. So, you know, you can berate me on YouTube all you want. But you're not matching my freedom, sunshine. Not happening. I'm big enough and ugly enough to look after myself. So what they're saying is, and what they're totally against is people taking medication. So anybody that's on medication, that's part of these groups, all right. And I was part of one, and I had to leave it. I've had to leave them all, because they're just so wacky, man. Just whacked up. They're just out there. They tell people to not take medication. They give people this advice on medication. They give out advice, and this is another thing they do in regard to the vaccine. They go around these buses and they protest the buses and tell people, don't take the vax, don't take the vax. It's like, hang on a second, no. This person's made that decision based on what they think they know, what they know. Who are you to tell them not to? And this is what I've said before in previous videos, is that, you know, these people that have been vaccinated, that are all for the vax, all right, they've maybe done their research, all right? They've maybe looked into it and thought, all right, do you know what, I'm going to do it. All right, I've got my reasons, I'm going to do it. But the one thing they're not doing, the one thing these people are not doing, is they're not going to the anti-vaxxers and saying, you should take the vax, you should take the vax, you should take the vax. They're not doing anything. They're not the cause of all this upheaval. They're just doing what they want to do. But these anti-vaxxers on this side, they're the ones that are saying, don't take it, don't take it, don't take it. And that's like, hang on a second. Why are you pressing your agenda based on what you believe onto somebody else? It's very cult-like, C-U-L-T, cult-like. So they're totally against medication. And this is bad. They are going to cause harm. So if you are part of these groups, and I've heard many times, myself included, that people have said, just taking a break from the group. Well, if it's an enjoyable group, why would you need to take a break from it? If the group is something there for you, why would you need to take a break from it? My advice to anybody in these groups is don't take a break. Just leave it. Just leave the group, man. You know, it's better for your mental health. Mindy also noticed it, and, you know, well, both sort of noticed it, really. That when we were part of this group, it was just stress, 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 stress. It was just this, all coming about chemtrails and Queen, and not the band, the actual Queen, and Nike trainers with blood in them, and satanic cults and Illuminati and all this crap. You know, just being pushed. And, you know, the planes that go overhead and they're leaving chemtrails and these chemicals are going to come down and get you. No, how about it might just be exhaust fumes, which you're breathing in every single day anyway. Do you know what I mean? And the majority of you drive cars. And you're all letting off your smoke signals in the middle of London. You're causing more harm than good with the advice you are giving. Causing more harm than good with the advice you're giving. So if you do if you do fight a mental illness and you are part of these groups, my advice is to leave them. My advice is to get the hell out of there and go find a group that's full of something that, you know, is enjoyable, you know, or just don't join any groups, you know, reach out to somebody. But these people that are giving you the advice, they are not trained medical people. They're not trained doctors and nurses. They're just people that have researched on the internet. Now, there's nothing wrong with researching on the internet, providing that the outcome is a win-win. When the outcome is a win-lose or a lose-win situation, then that's not a great vapor trails. Vapor trails. That mean that vapors, is that vapor trails from the planes? There clearly is a lag. Oh my God. But these people think that these trails that you see from planes that have been happening for decades, all right, they think that the chemicals that are going to come down and get us. Seriously. They think that they're going to come down and start to run. You want me to run? Sweetheart, you know I can't run. They think they're going to come down and get us. And they're not. You know, first of all, whatever it might be, is 27,000 feet in the air. So that particle that plane has dropped off ain't coming down to get me, I'm sorry. It's now out in the air. And by the time it gets to me, it's probably going to have died anyway. You know, whatever chemical is in there, it's probably going to have evaporated anyway. So, you know, this is what they're saying. They also believe that the government controls the weather. Really? So yeah, you've got to look at what these people are telling you. So again, if you are part of these groups or even consider joining these groups, my advice to you is there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you do not see. But silly people are drawn to this, mate, and I know what you mean. Silly people, yeah, do you know what, Norm? I was drawn to it as well. And this is why I was drawn to it. Because I was vulnerable. And I'll tell you why I was vulnerable. the whole thing with lockdowns happening, the whole thing with the COVID thing, I needed to feel part of something. And I was told about a group, so I joined it, and I thought, this is all right, they're all for what I'm saying, they're all for what I believe. And then it got really political. The first group, Wake Up Hull, lasted I was maybe in there for a month or two before it got closed down and I was removed from the group. And then somebody called Mark Allison started up another group with a guy called David Johnson, and they were like the admins for this group with Archie Shillman, and they formed this group, and it was all okay, but there was still a lot of negatives, still a lot of backstabbing within the ranks, and then Ewan came on board, Ewan Morrison, he came on board, and he was part of the split from another group. Ewan and Mark wanted David out, so I started the ball rolling there. I gave them what they wanted. Political had that before. Yes, I know, dude, we have. But that's all it is, Then these people don't understand politics. They don't understand politics with groups. They don't really understand that. They just think that because they've got a group there on the phone and there's 1,000 people there, they think they're leading an army when they're not. They're not. You just out for a walk with your phone. That's it. If you've got 1,000 people in your group, you've probably got 50, 60 active members. It's the 80-20 rule, Norm, you know all about that. So yeah, and this is so what happened then is we then decided to remove people from the admin group. I was part of an admin for this one group, and it just got a little bit crazy one day, and they were talking about, the devils in night trainers and satanic cults, and so I had a pop at them all. I'm like, guys, we don't need to be talking about this stuff. This stuff is seriously, we sound crazy. No wonder people call us conspiracy theorists and tin hat wearers. So they all had a pop at me then, and I wasn't allowed to say that. I was censored in a way, because I was saying, look, really, we're talking about this. This is why you're here. And then these crazy people would go on and they'd say, well, people need to know about this. Well, no, they don't. No, they don't, because you, and there was one guy, I forget his name now. Richie Bartlett, his name is, was spouting on that he'd spent £170,000 on research, and I just thought to myself, dude, you've spent that much money on research. Wow. Where's it got you? How far has it got you? Are you the man that's going to be taking on the government? Are you the man that's going to be leading the next country, leading us into the next out of the pandemic? Are you the man to follow? The answer is, people, no, he's not. All right. I just wish that the guy would have actually spent some of that money and, I don't know, got himself some head and shoulders. So yeah, these people can't stand me anyway, and I don't really care, because I've got ideas that are different to theirs. Sort of getting off track now, but if you do suffer with, or if you are fighting a mental illness on a daily basis, then leave these groups, people, because they are giving you misinformation. They're giving you garbage. They are giving you, stuff that you really don't need to be listening to. You don't need groups. You don't need these groups. You don't need this. I'm going to call it medical misinformation, because I had a channel shut down because of that, because I was saying one thing and it was like, right, okay, I need to change tact on this now. But this is medical misinformation. This is me saying, if you feel that you are depressed, or you feel down, or you feel anything but normal, go and see a doctor. If you feel, and that doctor will either prescribe or not prescribe something or nothing. And if that doctor does prescribe you with some antidepressants, and you are advised to take these at least once a day, every single day, then, I'll answer that question in a second, then you should take them. And then once you've had them in your system, you do not stop cold turkey. Don't ever do that. If you want to come off them because you're feeling better, then you go back to a doctor and you speak to that doctor and you explain to that doctor. Okay? I've been on them now for probably 8, 9, maybe 10 years. No, I can't be that long. It must be about 8 years now. And, you know, I feel okay. Still have bad days. But I don't feel like I need to, I don't feel that I can come off them right now. You know, obviously the ultimate goal would be to never take them again. But I'm not going to stop cold turkey. And that's bad advice. All right? You need to keep taking them. So anybody in these groups that's telling you to not take medication need to really have a checkup from the neck up. And I would say to you, leave these groups. And if you want to reach out, then find me. I'll answer. You know, if you can't reach out to me, find Mindy. You know, we'll both answer. It's not an issue. But yeah, so, you know, just step away from them. Leave them completely. Go and find something else. Because these groups are causing more harm than good. Much more harm than good. How am I doing? Thanks, Norm. I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. You know, I'm doing okay. I'm, you know, still breathing. How are you doing? So yeah, look, step away from them. You don't need them. You don't need to know about, you know, anti-lockdown protests. You don't need to know about anti-this protest. You don't need to know about that sort of stuff. You don't need somebody in your ear telling you to, you know, you don't need the constant information in your ear of medication. You know, don't take medication. Because you're gonna start to believe that. You're gonna start to believe that with you've got no medical training. These people have got no medical training. So if you're on meds, keep taking them. Don't just cut yourself off, because that's just stupid. Oh, free hearts. Love you too. Norman. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say, really. These groups are causing more harm than good for the mental health of society.
Run from the groups. You said walk away. Run.
Oh yeah, run from them. Come away, disband yourself from them. You don't need that kind of information, because when you're feeling low, when you're feeling down and depressed and low, the last thing you want to hear is, don't take medication. That's the last thing you want to hear, because you're going to start to believe that. All right? You're going to start to believe that. You're going to start to think that these people are right when they're not. They are wrong. They are wrong on the majority of accounts. Why? Because it suits their agenda. They have got no idea what you're going through. They've got no idea what you've been through. She won't come on camera, man. She won't come on camera. Oh, hang on. No, she won't come on camera. She looks very beautiful, by the way. Norman said, show yourself, Mindy.
I'm naked. Half naked.
Right, okay. Well, if you tell him that, he's probably going to say, show yourself, Mindy.
It's not quite tight.
Give her over. She says she can't because she's half naked. He's going to put it in caps now. Show yourself, Mindy. She's not. Look, I shouldn't be having this conversation right now anyway. I'm trying to be professional. She's not lying down, no. I'm sorry, mate. But I have said that she should have a channel. She should do lives. Because, again, a lot of the lives that I do are from her, really. It's things that she says and that spark something in my mind. She was talking to me earlier on today, and I'm like, oh, I feel another life coming on. A lot of things she says just sparks a live. It's like, right, okay, I mean, go research this for me, and then I can do a live on it.
Alright, they're all going to come at me now.
Norman's putting big letters, yes. No.
I'll message you later.
She said she'll message you later, dude. I don't know where I stand in all this. I don't know. But, you know. Right then, I'm going to love you and leave you. I still don't know what to call this video, so until I know what to call this video, I am going to wait for the upload. But thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's basically, you know, there's 4 subscribers on the channel, right? And videos are getting 50, 60, 70 views. And it's like, well, why aren't you all subscribed? It's because what I'm saying is controversial to what they're thinking. All these people that are watching are just, they're the conspiracy crazies. They're the conspiracy nuts. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna love you and leave you. And Matt Hancock's resigned. Right then, I'm gonna say peace out. Keep taking your meds if you have to. If you're on meds, keep taking them. Go and see doctors. Don't listen to these crazy, crazy, crazy people. Go and see a medical practitioner. Run from the groups. You don't need to be part of it. I am going to use this. I am going to say stay safe. And if you are having any form of dark thoughts or anything, a down day, whatever it might be, you've got 2 people here that give a damn and that you can connect with. So if you are watching this on YouTube, you can find me on Mindy on Facebook. It's James Davey and Mindy Hickling. Sorry, they're 2 different people. So you can find us on Facebook. Or if you want to email me direct, it's jamesdavey01@yahoo.com. JamesDavey01@yahoo.com. All right. Other than that, I'm going to love you and leave you. And that's the bearded opinion.